Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Trending Thursday. My name is Glenn Tompkins, Senior Instructor here at VectorVest. Always glad to have you here. If you can hear me, by all means, please respond in the affirmative to let me know that everything is coming across loud and clear, especially with VV Nation. I want VV Nation to stand up. Let's go make this happen today. So let's go see. I see the VV Nations coming in, making sure that everything is coming across. You know what else I want you guys to do today? Share this on your social media. Let other people in your circle know what you're doing. All right, especially if you've had an opportunity to make money in the market, share this with your social media. Repost it. I did a video just a moment ago, and a couple of people have already retweeted. So if you're not following me on social media, go to @GlennTompkinsJr. on either Instagram or on Twitter. All right, and I post a lot of stuff there, so we would love to see you join me there as well. So free mugs for everyone today? No, not doing that. And today, I'm going to limit the chat. Joey is going to point out the questions that I need to have answered for you, because today we got a lot of stuff to go through, all right? We got a lot of stuff to go through, so make sure you're really nice to Joey. Joey is going to point out which questions we are going to answer today. So thank you all again for being here. Let's go have a great session today. Real quick, I do want to talk about the Tampa 2-Day. Just real quick, do you have that ready? There you go. There's our Tampa 2-Day. Every January, the first or second week in January, we travel to Tampa. It's normally our flagship event. It's the first. Oh, wow! My finger hit it. All right. So normally it's our flagship event, and we're going to still do it this year. As of right now, we normally have a lot of people at that seminar. This year, because of COVID, it's going to be social distance. So not everybody who wants to show up live will be able to show up live. But we will also stream it as well. So keeping that in mind, it's going to be on January 8th and 9th. January 8th and 9th in Tampa. And folks, we'd love to see you there. The Tampa 2-Day. That's right, Kumar. It's the Tampa 2-Day. You have your Cafe Bustelo? There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Joey, did you give Glenn a haircut? No, I got a haircut. I had to go get a haircut. Will Glenn be at the Tampa 2-Day this year, Jay? Yes. I will be at the Tampa 2-Day this year. So,
links, one for the live and one for stream.
And there is 2 links, one for the live and one for the stream. One for the live and one for the stream. So there are 2 links. By the way, talking to me is Joey. He rides side saddle with me. He is my producer in everything that I do. As long as I look good, he does a great job of that. So he spends more time with me than he does with his own wife and kids. He really does. He spends more time with me. Lynn is here. Lynn, I haven't seen you in a long time. Holy smokes. Yes, there is a junior. I have a dad whose name is Glenn Edward Tompkins. He will not put a senior to his name, but he makes me put a junior to my name. All right, Joey will be at the Tampa 2-day as well. All right, so Joey, take away my chat. Today, folks.
We also had to talk about the Jockey Club on Monday.
Oh, on Monday, before we do that, on Monday, for those of you who are YouTubers who are not part of our VectorVest family, I am going to be doing a YouTube video on Monday and Tuesday. A YouTube video on an overview of our trading room utilizing a tool called the Derby. So I'm going to do an overview on that on Monday on YouTube. On Tuesday, I will be doing an actual Jockey Club presentation. So you're going to be able to see live into our trading room on YouTube for the Jockey Club. And then on Wednesday, Steve will do a presentation on YouTube looking at our automated swing trade system. So for those of you who are not subscribers, we're still offering a special 99 cents for 30 days to take advantage of VectorVest, number 1. Number 2, that 99 cents will give you access, if you want it, to the real-time software and the Derby for that 99 cents. Normally, folks, that's a $29 trial. So you will be able to do that. It's more or less to get a lot of you who are sitting here on YouTube into the VectorVest software. We're doing everything that we can to be able to do that. All right, so let's start off. What we always start off with is what's going on in the market. From the perspective of the market timing perspective, that's what we do. We time the market. We don't predict it which way the market is going to go, but we keep our subscribers on the right side of the market at all times. So I'm going to bring up my market timing page here on my screen, and this is the home page of the VectorVest software. We can clearly see that the majority of the indices are up. The S&P 100 is slightly down today, but the S&P 500 is slightly up today. Not a lot of gangbuster move to the upside or to the downside, but that's indicative of a market top. And if you have this indicator right here called the MTI, the market timing indicator, only found here on VectorVest, it is an indicator cast on a scale between 0 and 2, where above 1 is favorable, below 1 is unfavorable. But as a VectorVest subscriber, when the MTI gets to a level of about 1.5 to 1.6, the market is looking for a top. All right, I'm going to show that to you in a second. We can see our color guard has got a lot of yellow popping up, and it's designed like a traffic light. When you get to a traffic light, a yellow light, what do? Slow down. When you get to a green light, what do? Go. And when you get to a red light, what do? Stop. Joey speeds up. That's why he's got more tickets than I care to count. But right now, from a market timing perspective, a lot of yellow popping up, number 1. Number 2, the MTI is at that level. The market is going up, anticipation, all of that stuff. That's great. But VectorVest helps you to not have your head on a swivel and stay focused. You could be making money in stocks right now. All I'm telling you is to be careful and don't be afraid to take profits off the table. The name of the game is to buy low and sell high, right? This is an opportunity. If you can buy low, but do not be afraid to take profits off the table, especially knowing that the market is looking for a top. So that's what the market looks like right now. Let's talk about news that's pushing the market in these directions. So let's go to my first story. And my first story talks about, well, what is the government doing? These are the things that are pushing the market in the direction of what it's doing, right? So as I look at coronavirus stimulus, efforts pick up speed. Why? Because that's big and heavy on people's minds to help bolster the economy. Without stimulus, people don't have money to put back into the economy. Another thing, unemployment, a lot less people filed for unemployment this week. So that came out today. That's important. Looks like more people are going back to work. Because the stimulus is not going into their pockets, they got to get back out to work. They got to make some money. So coronavirus stimulus is picking up. Top Democrats, how did that happen? Top Democrats say $908 billion bipartisan proposal should be basis for negotiations of a new relief bill. You know, I won't talk about politics in the room, but the words are being used in here, and that's important. The U.S. faces a third surge of COVID-19 cases and prospect of more business shutdowns. There is a growing call for Congress to pass a new stimulus package. So that's very heavy on people's minds from a market timing perspective. What else is going on? Global economy faces hard winter despite COVID-19 vaccine hopes. That is the other story. So coronavirus vaccine, as well as what's going on with stimulus. Two big things moving the market. And a lot of this is euphoria or anticipation that these things are coming to pass. All right, so vaccines, I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in this presentation, but that's a big news that's affecting the market. Let's get back into the software. So those are my two stories about what's going on in the market overall, what's making the market move in the direction that it's moving. Let's go open up to my market timing graph. All right, this is the VectorVest composite, which is an indexed arithmetic average of over 8,300 stocks. So we're looking at the move of over 8,300 stocks. I need that moved over just a little bit more. Yeah, I need all of that. There you go. All right, so there's the market. Let's put it on a 3-month graph. Market's rocking and rolling. Our VectorVest composite is hitting all-time highs. Rocking and rolling with today, open candle. All I'm telling you, I'm going to put on the MTI. When the MTI gets to that level of about 1.5 to 1.6, the market always tends to pull back. It is an indicator of where the market is sitting. How about here? Market ran up, MTI above the value of that 1.5, 1.6. What did the market do? Took some time, but what did it do? Pull back. MTI got to that level of that 1.5, 1.6. What did the market do? It pulled back. The VectorVest MTI right now is above that level of 1.5, 1.6. What do you think is going to happen? Market's going to pull back. When? I don't know. It's not an if it's going to happen. It's a when it's going to happen. And with that information, this is why I'm telling you it's okay to take profits off the table. Don't be too greedy. Understand that, all right? Because bulls make money, bears make money.
Pigs make bacon.
There's the bears. Bears make money and pigs make bacon. I love bacon, but VectorVest will save your bacon. All right, so that's one of the indicators that we look at to see what's going on in the market. And if you're not a subscriber to the software, I'm going to go to the viewers tab. Let's go to our watch list viewer, bring up our stocks for today. Trending Thursday. Let's go find 12. Got you. 12.3, which is today. And our two indicators that we use for timing the market for us is the VVC. And for those of you who are not subscribers, it's going to be the S&P 500. We already took a look at the VectorVest composite. Let's go take a look at the S&P 500. All right. And put that on a 3-month graph. There's the S&P 500. Looks a lot like the VectorVest composite. But remember, it only tracks 500 stocks, where the VectorVest composite tracks over 8,300 stocks. Nonetheless, we're hitting all-time highs in the market. All I'm letting you know is what you need to know. What you need to know is that the market is at a level where it's looking for a top. All I'm telling you is to be careful. I'm not telling any of you not to buy. I'm not scaring you out of buying stocks. Not at all. But with VectorVest, you get the heads up of knowing that don't be afraid to take profits off the table. All right, so I am going to close out of this graph. There's my market overview. Does anybody have any questions? Joey? Joey is going to read off any questions that I need to answer today. So it's all Joey. I'm here to give the information today.
What time is the Derby and swing trading? Monday, Tuesday?
What time is the Derby swing trading? On Monday, it's going to start at 9 o'clock, like we always do, which is a half an hour before the market opens. On Monday, it's just going to be an overview and a little taste of the Derby. On Tuesday, it's going to also start at 9 o'clock. You're going to get the full experience of the Derby. And I think on Wednesday, it should also be at 9 o'clock, and Steve will give an overview of his swing trading automated system. Any other questions, Joey? All right, so let's get into our next story. So that was the market overview. Let's get back into our next story. All right, and now what are we talking about? COVID-19. All right, COVID-19 is what's heavy on the market. You were afraid of that, weren't you, Joey? COVID-19 is hot and heavy on everybody's mind. Vaccine is coming to the forefront. Here's a story. UK approves Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine in the world first. So how many of you out there are from the UK? All right. And I won't be able to see the chat, but Joey will. It's going out first. And you know something? It's going to be out just before Christmas. That's fast. Operation Warp Speed for the U.S. and around the world has been amazing to bring a vaccine to the forefront. All right. So that is key. And I am still of the mindset, I'm not sure I'm comfortable with all of the testing. That's my personal opinion. But if it can help to stem off the spread of COVID-19, then let's go see what it can do, all right? So Pfizer BioNTech is right in line to get the vaccine out to everybody. Number two, how about this? CVS Walgreens to give COVID-19 shots at nursing homes. Look at that. So the two biggest drug companies are going to be out there giving the shots out to nursing homes. And eventually, we're going to all be able to go to CVS or Walgreens to get the shots as well, all right? So that's big as far as distribution of the vaccine once it's here. But Pfizer is already being put out there to the UK. Let's talk about Moderna. That's a stock in my wheelhouse that I've been looking at. But look at this. Merck unloaded stake in Moderna earlier this quarter. Why? Because they achieved a substantial gain on its direct holding in Moderna. That was my stock of choice in this space because it had made the news a lot. I looked at the equity curve, the whole 9 yards, but Merck took their stake out. That's pulling money out of the stock. Could that hurt the stock? That's interesting, but they took their money out for the right reasons. They made a lot of money. Moderna is one of many stocks that's out there that's making money in this space. So that was an interesting story because that could affect Moderna's overall performance, noticing that a big company took the money out of that company. And another one, Moderna as well. They filed for European authorization of COVID-19 vaccine candidate. So if it's already being put out into the UK, Moderna is now going after the European market as well to get right there with Pfizer. And you know something? They could be hot and heavy right on the heels of Pfizer to get their drug out there to the European market as well. And guess what? After that, it's going to be over here in the US. They're already filing their affidavits with the FDA to start getting their drugs approved here in the United States as well. So the coronavirus space is hot and heavy, but now I'm going to start branding this. Now I'm going to take you to what you need to know. And that's where the VectorVest software is going to come into place. I'm going to take you into what you need to know. Let's go back to the watch list. Now, I'm going to start off for those people who may be brand new. Welcome, by the way. But I'm going to start off when we look at a VectorVest watch list of stocks. These stocks are sorted by our master indicator, VST. So the stocks that have the best combination of value, safety, and timing will populate at the top of the screen. What is the second best stock by way of our master indicator in the list? Moderna. So that's one stock we're going to look at. What's the third stock in here? BNTX. Well, 2 out of the few coronavirus stocks that we're going to talk about are in the top 3 of the list of 18 stocks we're looking at today. What else is in here? Pfizer's in here. And what else? Those are my 3. So Moderna is number 1 by VST, followed by BNTX, number 3 in the list by VST, and Pfizer has a VST below 1. So notice that 2 of the stocks are a buy, Moderna and BNTX. Pfizer is a hold. Notice that MRNA and BNTX grow their earnings at a clip of above 10%, whereas Pfizer does not. So some of the basic analysis: relative value, a stock's upside potential; relative safety, it's an indicator of risk for the stock. Relative timing tells me if the stock is in an uptrend or not. And again, our master indicators. So let's go look at these on a graph. This is what you need to know. As I look at these stocks, let's go look at on a 3-month graph. I'm looking at a 3 and an 8 exponential moving average. I'm going to take those off and I'm going to slow it down a little bit. I'm going to put on a 20 exponential moving average. Why? Because I think that bodes well for people who are not always traders. The stock is clearly above the 20-day exponential moving average. Big down day a couple of days ago, but the stock is starting to rebound, clearly above the 20-day exponential moving average. Watch the volume though. Volume is starting to fall. Volume is conviction. Volume is conviction. Our indicator relative timing still tells us that it is in an uptrend. Let's go look at BNTX, starting to move sideways right now. We've got our levels of support and resistance. Stock is coming off of 2 levels of support, now moving sideways, clearly above the 20-day exponential moving average. Again, watch volume, but our indicator tells us that RT tells us the stock is still in an uptrend. Next one. Wow, Pfizer took a big hit, and this is the bigger of the 3 companies. Pfizer took a big hit, bouncing between in an uptrend, not in an uptrend, but clearly above the 20-day exponential moving average, not as strong as the other 2 stocks that I'm looking at from a price structure perspective, but it is above the 20-day exponential moving average. RT is above 1 but falling. So those are 3 stocks from the news that we're taking advantage of. Let's do this. Because you're here on Trending Thursday, I've got a watch list for you specifically for coronavirus stocks. It's under healthcare, coronavirus. Let me tell you what you need to know in this space. So we've got 49 stocks here. Of the 49, how about I want to find out which ones have the best upside potential? Let's sort it by relative value. The stock with the best upside potential is APT, Alpha Pro Tech. Good upside potential. It's a safe stock. What's hurting it right now? Relative timing. Look at this stock. Grows their earnings at a clip of 44% a year. It's got great upside. It is a sell. May not be the right time to be in it. Let's look at a stock that's got good relative value and it's a buy. Wow, Novavax is right there in where it needs to be. That may not be a bad play in this space. So think about that. That's more of what you need to know in the coronavirus space. Even though stocks are making news, this is where the rubber meets the road in the analysis that VectorVest provides for you. Let's find out which ones are the safest. Out of that, we got Regen. That's REGN. We all know that stock. It is the safest in the list, the least stock of risk. All right. Also a sell, may not be the right time to buy it. RT is below 1, grows their earnings at a clip of 21%. Last but not least, let's go look at relative timing. In this list, which stock is the fastest? Well, we've got MRNA, we've got TRIB, TWST. So all of the information that you need to make a better decision in this space of coronavirus is quickly attainable with the click of a couple of mouse clicks. That's it. And this is what you need to know when it comes down to the space, no matter what the news is telling you. All right. Any questions, folks? Any questions in regards to that? I love this watch list. And, a lot of people in the room use this watch list on a daily basis to take advantage of some of the fastest moving coronavirus stocks. And they do it every day. Does VectorVest show execute prices of their own company shares where our own company, we're not a publicly traded company? So I'm wondering if that's your question. We're not a publicly traded company, so that's the only way I can answer that. I got the 99-cent deal. Am I supposed to be able to access the Derby tab in VectorVest? Doug, give our product support staff a call in regards to that. You can let them know that you wanted a 99-cent trial that gives you access to the real time in the Derby. You can get that. Jody says, but Novavax is overvalued. Oh, I understand that. A lot of the stocks in the market are overvalued. Why? Because interest rates are low. Where's money going? Money goes where money grows. Nobody's putting money in the bank. A lot of stocks in the country overall are overvalued for that reason. Yes, if you're comfortable being in stocks, because we tout that, being in safe, undervalued stocks that are rising in price in a rising market. But in the current market that we're in, a lot of people are putting money into the market because that's where their money is going to grow. And a lot of times the prices of the stocks will rise to premiums that people are willing to pay. So I hear you that the stock is overvalued. Should you not take advantage of it? I'm going to tell you, use your own decisions, use your own choice to do so. But in this case, a lot of these stocks that you're going to look at are overvalued. And if you're not comfortable with that, then stick to the undervalued stocks. All right? All right, let's get to my next story. Let's go bump up to my next story. My next story, VectorVest has a way of knowing, and I asked the question earlier, how many, I put that on social media, what's the fastest moving industry you think over the last couple of weeks in VectorVest is? I type it in the room. I gave cryptocurrency, I gave retail, I gave marijuana, say again, and oil. All right, so out of those, what do you think is the fastest moving industry? As you start to answer that question, type it in the room. Type it in the room. Joey will start telling me what comes up the most. All right, I'm going to show you something that, again, for that 99 cents, you have the capability of knowing what the fastest industry is at any point in time. I'm going to go to the Unisearch tool as soon as I find my mouse. I'm going to go to the Unisearch tool. I'm going to move this over, and I'm going to go to Delta Searches Industries. All right, and I'm going to do a 10-day price delta. What is delta? Is a percentage change. I'm doing a 10-day percentage price change on industries. And when I run the search, it'll bring up to the top of the list what the fastest moving industry is. And there it is, folks. Crypto stocks are the fastest moving industries over the last 10 days by price. Price on crypto is up 91%. And the next one, petroleum, is only up 27%. Crypto by far is the fastest moving industries over the last 2 weeks. And I can attain that data with a click of the mouse looking at the last 10 days price delta on industries. 99 cents gets you this capability, folks. And you can do it at any point in time. All right, so we're going to go back to my viewers list, to my watch list. Let's get into my next story. The fastest moving industry that we have is cryptocurrency. So my next story is on Bitcoin. Bitcoin reached new highs as it becomes more widely accepted. That is key. So this has been a speculative space for the longest time, but more and more bigger name companies are starting to get involved with Bitcoin, to include JP Morgan Chase, to include Square, to include PayPal. A lot of these bigger traded companies are getting more on board with Bitcoin. I want to tell you that I just recently saw a story that now the IRS is getting involved with this Bitcoin thing. And you know something, when you file your taxes, you may have to check a box that tells how much Bitcoin you've traded. I'm just putting that out there just so that you know. The regulation is starting to come into place, and Bitcoin is going to have an idea of either still rocking and rolling or it's going to be stymied by the regulation. We'll see. But I'm putting that out there. It is becoming more widely accepted. What else? Here's another story, not quite on Bitcoin, but still on cryptocurrency. Facebook's digital token Libra to launch as soon as January in an even more slimmed down version, report says. So, talk about the big names getting on board with cryptocurrency. Facebook is going in that direction. All of this is leaving more credence to the idea that digital currency, cryptocurrency, is becoming more and more widely accepted. So let's go take a look at those two stocks. Let's go back to the software, and let's go back to my watch list for today, 12-3. Let's go see where these two stocks stand in the list sorted by our master indicator, right? So what's the two stocks? Facebook. How about it's number 4 in the list overall? What else is in here? I'm looking at Riot, which is number 6 in the list overall of 18 stocks. So some of the stocks that we've looked at so far rank amongst the best in the list of over 18 stocks. That should give you a little bit more confidence about the stocks. Relative value on Facebook above 1. Stocks got good upside potential. Even though cryptocurrency is being more widely accepted, how about the upside capability is not there yet? RV at 0.37. How about the safety on them not there yet at 0.81? Whereas on Facebook, we've got a relative safety of 1.48. So cryptocurrency is coming into its own, but still not fundamentally there yet. But look at that relative timing. It's rocking and rolling, and even faster than Facebook right now, and both of them still are buy recommendations. Let's go right-click, view the stock graph. So Facebook is doing the Libra. Put it on 1 year, 3-month graph. As I look at this stock right now, where would I be? Well, it's above the 20-day exponential moving average, but this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at that level. Stop that, Joey. I got nothing to do with Joey. Let's go look at that level of resistance sitting about 297.34. Let's make that a little darker so that you can see it. Look at that. That's a beautiful 3-month level of resistance. If I'm thinking about taking Facebook, let it get out of its own way. Let's go above that level of resistance. It's clearly above the 20-day exponential moving average. RT is above 1, but pulling back. Remember, folks, that's an indicator of the short-term price trend of a stock. If it's pulling back, it's losing some momentum. I like that it is trending higher. Look at that overall from that low. If I draw a freehand line, look at that. Stock is trending higher. I'm definitely hitting higher lows. Let's make that a little darker for you so you can see it. It's definitely hitting higher lows, so it's trending higher. But let the stock get out of its way. Let's get above that level of resistance before we think about pulling the trigger on it. But it may be something to look at in the crypto space. Let's go look at Riot. Riot is on a roll, folks. Crypto is really on the roll. Look at that 20-day exponential. Love the move on it. RT is definitely above 1. Watch the volume. Watch the volume on the stock. Volume is conviction. And what I'm looking at is as the stock is moving higher, the volume is pulling back. Be careful. This is the information that you need to know to make a better decision in the trades that you pick. So that is the first industry that we're going to look at right now. Watch that, all right? So before I move on, though, let's go. I do have cryptocurrencies in here, crypto stocks. From a crypto perspective, let's look at which ones are the better ones to use. All right, Riot is at the top of my list, sorted by VST. Look at that. BT is up there at 1.28. A couple of them are buy recommendations. Mara's in there. Riot is in there. Man, so we do have a couple of stocks in this space that are buy recommendations that you can definitely consider getting into. So from this space, I love that idea that the VectorVest software can provide you with better alternatives to get into no matter what stock is making the news. All right, before we move on to our next industries, Joey, any questions?
What are the differences between the red and green bars in volume?
What are the differences between the red and green bars in volume? When I look at the graph, the green bar means the stock's price went higher. On the red bar, the stock's price went lower. That's it. Green bar, red bar. So up candle or down candle. All right. Any other questions, Joey?
How do you highlight several stocks in a list at once?
How do you highlight several stocks in a list at once? Click on the top one. Wherever you want the list to end, let's say we want to end it right about here. Hold down the Shift key on your keyboard, hold it down, and then left click. All of those stocks will be highlighted. There you go. How do you do one at a time? Instead of holding down the Shift key, hold down the Control key and click which ones you want. There you go. All right, any other questions, Joey? All right, let's go to the next fastest industry. Let's go to my stories. My next fastest industry happens to be weed, marijuana. Woo! Who's high on marijuana? Well, you know what I mean. Who's big on marijuana stocks? So that same list that I put up, I've already looked at the 3 fastest industries. Marijuana was number 2. All right, the second biggest traded industry from that perspective. So guess what, folks? We have a symbolic day for cannabis setting up with the White House on tap. I believe it's going to be not tomorrow, I believe it's Friday, for the cannabis sector if the House of Representatives vote to approve the MORE Act on cannabis legalization as expected. While the bill will be almost surely blocked by Mitch McConnell, the Senate most likely is not going to go through, but it looks like it will go through in the House. There is still some focus on the vote, according to this guy, Cohen. Key to watch in the House is whether re-elected Democrats vote against the MORE Act or if the re-elected vote Republicans, blah, blah, blah. The Democrats, Republicans, doesn't matter to me. All I want to know is right now it's up for debate in the legislature. And this could be a big day to making this industry move. So I've been looking at what has been one of the best or fastest moving stocks in this space. Let's go back to today. One of the fastest moving stocks in this space happens to be ACB. All right, let's go find out where it is. In my list of 18, it's down in the bottom third of the list. Let's look at it real quick. The stock's price is trading at 11.08 with a value of 643. Stock is overvalued. Let's look at the upside potential. Relative value, below 1, not favorable. Relative safety, below 1, not favorable. What's making the stock move? Relative timing. It is in an uptrend, and it's up nicely in an uptrend. Earnings growth rate, negative 5%. Negative 5% on a growth rate. So if ACB is so hot, let's take a look at the graph. ACB is so hot. Why? It's news-driven. Look at a 3-month graph. How comfortable are you trading this stock? It is clearly above the 20-day exponential moving average, but look at the volatility in the stock. Look at the big down day and then trying to come back today and yesterday. Look at the volume starting to fall off. The RT, short-term price trend, is above the value of 1. But look at this. Hold, buy, hold, buy, hold, buy. A little volatile in the stock. So let me tell you what you need to know. I've got a watch list of marijuana stocks. Let's go find that, which would be healthcare, marijuana stocks. Since the industry is on a rise, right? Let's see what VectorVest can do to help you find the better marijuana stocks to get into. I'm going to put this list by relative value. Which marijuana stocks have the best upside potential? Green Thumb, $21, value of 11. But it's got the strongest upside potential as compared to an alternative investment in AAA corporate bond. It should outperform a AAA corporate bond by 49% over the next 1 to 3 years. Planet 13 Holdings. And some of these you may not even know. But VectorVest is bringing to the forefront which stocks have the best upside potential. All right, how about which stocks in this industry are the safest? Sort that. How about GRWG? That's a stock that everybody knows about, and it's the safest stock in this space. How cool is that? And followed by CNBS, Mary Jane, which I call it Mary Jane. That is an ETF of trading the whole industry. I am personally using that along with a low dollar stock in this space because if the industry is going to rise, why not lessen your exposure to risk by trading the whole industry? It happens to be number 3 in the list, sorted by safety. Well, it's at 1, and it's a buy recommendation. RT is at 1.68. This is one of the fastest moving stocks, even though it's an ETF in the list, at 1.68. Well, let's do that again. Let's sort by RT. What's the fastest moving here? APHA. We know that as well as a big moving stock, and it's the fastest moving in this space. So depending on what your goals are you trying to hold the stock long term? look at relative value. If you're looking at the stock's safety by way of financial performance, relative safety is an indicator of risk, but it looks at the consistency and predictability of a company's financial performance. So relative safety is good from a financial perspective, and of course, relative timing is good for a short-term trade perspective. How about looking at the stocks that have the best earnings growth? There it is, GWPH, the strongest earnings growth, followed by GTBIF. A lot of these stocks, again, you may not know about, but the VectorVest software is bringing them to the forefront to give you a better idea of what stocks you would want to trade in this industry. I'm going to do one other thing. Let's highlight the watch list average down below. Let's go look at the industry as a whole with all of the stocks that we're looking at. Put this on a 3-month graph. Good, googly muggly, folks. I'm going to put that up there. Where's that at? Good, googly muggly. Good, googly muggly. I love the industry is rising. Now you can see why it's the second fastest industry in my listing of industries right now. It's a good-looking industry, nicely, not terribly volatile, clearly above the 20-day exponential moving average. Watch volume as the stock starts to move sideways. Relative timing is moving up. I think that that's a no-brainer. And if you're looking for better ideas to look at that watch list of stocks. Build your own watch list of stocks to be able to get into. Folks, that's what you really need to know outside of what you read in the news. We take you what you think you know to another level. 99 cents gives you that capability like that, folks. Like that. You really need to consider the 99-cent trial. How hard is it for me to make a better decision, knowing that the space is moving, to hone in on the best stock for what my goals are? All right. With that, Joey, do we have any questions in regards to my second fastest industry right now?
Why can't you have Canadian cannabis stocks on this list as a comparative tool?
Question is, why can't I have comparative Canadian stocks in this list? As long as they're cross-listed, I can. If they're cross-listed between both the U.S. and Canada, they can be in here. But I usually don't look at the Canadian database. Primarily, the majority of the people that are here are using the U.S. database. So you know something? You can build it on your own. As long as they're cross-listed, you can build it. Or in the Canadian market, we do have a Canadian market of VectorVest. You can open up the stocks there. Hopefully, that's a good way to answer your question. It's not like I can't. As long as they're cross-listed, I can have them in both. All right, any other questions, Joey?
One comment here. Marie Lala says, "Hey, Glenn, you look great, sir."
Well, thank you. Thank you. Hear that, Joey? That's Joey. Joey makes me look great. Besides, I got my hair cut. I needed to get my hair cut. It was pretty icky.
What is the chart that you use for time frame for volume?
The question is, what is the chart? Let's go look at GWPH. What is the chart that I use? What's the time frame? I always look at a 3-month graph. Why? What happens every 3 months on the stock? Earnings. Earnings is the biggest mover of a stock's price. So when I look at the real move on the stock, I want to see the earnings picture in there along the way. So that's why I like a 3-month graph. And I have a simple graph of a 20-day exponential moving average. I have volume based off of end of day, and I have RT. I try to make it as simple as possible to make it easy for you to understand what's going on. Any other questions, Joey? All right, let me close out of that graph. Let's get into my next story. Man, so the third industry, my third fastest industry was petroleum. Where's my petroleum story?
You couldn't find it.
I couldn't find a petroleum story. I had a petroleum story. You know what I'm going to do? Let's just talk about the petroleum stocks. Let's do that. I had a specific, but we were rushing to get started here today. So we'll do it this way. Let's use the software. Let's use the software. Petroleum was the third fastest industry out of the 3 industries that I looked at. All right. I'm going to go to the petroleum stocks. All right, and I'm going to let's go to my watch list first, because I do have a couple of stocks from the watch list that I wanted to pay attention to. One of them was WTI, West Texas Offshore. All right, and that's a lot of people use that for the basis of looking at oil. Was that the only one that I had on? Might have been. Oh, and Marathon Oil. My story was actually on Marathon Oil, but I don't know what happened to it, so I apologize for that. But these are the 2 stocks that I'm looking. Now, what have I always told you? What moves oil? demand. Demand is still not there yet, but oil is moving in anticipation of what's happening with the presidency. I don't fully understand it, but it's okay. Let me give you what you need to know. Where is WTI in my list of 18 stocks? One off the bottom. Where is Marathon? Somewhere towards the middle. Let's take a look at these two stocks, all right? Let me give you what you need to know. All right, so we look at Marathon Oil, 3 months. I don't think that the demand is there yet. Even though we're getting into the colder months where oil is going to, where heat's going to be used, I don't know if we're going to have enough demand to overcome the supply that we have. Supply is dwindling, but still there. Supply is dwindling, but still there. So Marathon Oil is clearly above the 20-day exponential moving average. It's rebounding. If I'm thinking about getting in, wait until it crosses above the high. But let's go look at WT Offshore. Look at that. And a lot of people, again, use that for the exploration side in regards to what's going on with oil. What is it doing? It is lower than it was 3 months ago, trying to rebound and move up. I'm not feeling oil still just quite yet. So I took it a step further. Let's go look at my petroleum stocks. I've got a watch list for petroleum stocks. And how many stocks are in here? I've created this. I've got 74 stocks in here. And if I scroll all the way over, they encompass all different industries within the petroleum field: drilling, field services, refining, and all that exploration and production. All right. And I made sure that all of the stocks were greater than $1 and that all of the average volumes were greater than 150,000 shares. All right. That's what made up my list. As I look at the list, let's go look at a watch list average of 74 stocks. I'm going to right click. I'm going to view the watch list average. What is the industry doing? So you see that it's one of the fastest moving industries. Put it on a 6-month graph. Put it on a 1-year graph. I am not a big fan of oil still yet. I'm going to draw a horizontal line at, look at that gap. Look at that gap down. And that was COVID. That was COVID. All right. It fell and it still hasn't rebounded yet. I'm going to now take this, put it on a stronger line. Now, when did this happen? Everybody knows that April-May time period. What happened? The contracts, the futures contracts, closed so low that it got a lot of people in the oil, and then they bought it, and now look at where it is now. A lot of people jumped in and said, Glenn, you didn't know what you were talking about. It went up. I'm going to sit back now. I'm going, just like that. That's how I'm looking at it. Where's that? I got a thing right there. What is that?
Really?
Exactly. All right, look at where it is now compared to where everybody thought that it was going to rock and roll because the contracts were expiring less than they ever did. And people jumped all over and ran. And now all I got to do is say, what else I got to say? There you go. I like that as well. Don't you, Dory? All right, so that's where we stand. I'm still not a big fan, but it is a fast-moving industry. The beauty behind what I'm showing you is now VectorVest is giving you the rest of the story. The industry may be rising. Do you want to be a follower or a leader in this industry? Are you ready to jump on board with oil if the demand is not there yet? Just think about that. All right, so that's my third industry, which is petroleum. Any stocks, Joey? How can I delete the alerts on my iPad? I have about 600 alerts, but don't know how to get rid of it. Marie, give our product support staff a call. I could probably walk through it, but I don't want to take the time to do that. It's not that I want to answer your question. I think it's better answered with product support, Marie. That's my honest answer. All right. If I have less than $15,000, where do you suggest I should start? I'm going to give a couple of inexpensive stocks to take a look at, Bishnu. But from that perspective, we do have searches here. If you're looking for lower dollar stocks to get into because you don't have a lot of money, we have searches in the software. Search is, what am I looking for? Search is aggressive. Where's the one I'm looking for? No. Traders alert. How about best stocks under 20, best stocks under 15? I am looking for a search called Teeny Boppers. That's a beautiful search to find lower dollar stocks. Where's it called? Teeny Boppers. Teeny Boppers, Teeny Boppers. Where is it at? Oh, Lord, Joey. Did I lose it? Oh, it's up here somewhere. Teeny Boppers. Stocks that are greater than $1, less than $5, average volume greater than 25,000 shares, hitting a new high, sorted by VST divided by actual prices. So Bishnu, if you're looking for lower dollar stocks, we've got a few searches in here to specifically help you with that. Any other questions? What? Oh, sorry. Joey's showing me. Can we get a hold of these watch lists on our copy of VectorVest? No, you can't, but I've walked you through what you can do. What I've done, especially for that petroleum, I went through all of the industries, all of the petroleum industries. I took all of the stocks from each industry, put it into one watch list. I took that one watch list that had all of the stocks from all of those industries, petroleum industries. I took out all of the stocks that were less than $1. And then I went through again and took out all of the stocks that had an average volume less than 100,000 shares. That's how I created that watch list. All right. While trying to weed my portfolio as a prudent investor, do I use a one-year chart or a weekly chart using a 40-day moving average? If you're going to use a 40-day moving average, I would think about looking at a 6-month to a 1-year chart. Now, when we talk about weeding the portfolio, we normally talk about it, especially in some of our webcasts, looking at a 1-year chart. I'm okay with that, especially if you're trying to get out of some of the stocks that could be hurting your portfolio. So I would look at a 1-year chart in that perspective. All right, so keeping all of that in mind, folks, if you haven't already, if you like the content, hit the like button. Number 2, if you've not a subscriber to our channel, hit the subscribe button. Folks, it's all here for you. I'm just a guy relaying information that you need to know instead of being led around like sheep and looking at this, that, and the other thing. VectorVest is actually giving you the rest of the story. So if you like the commentary, hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber yet, please hit the subscribe button. This is the kind of content we give out to you every single week. Can you look at EVs like, no, hold on, you ain't let me finish yet, huh?
It's going to segue into our next
Oh, it's going to segue into our next one? Oh, it does. The next story I got, KHH, is EVs. That's the next story I got. So, again, Bishnu, being able to buy lower dollar stocks, that's one of several different searches specifically like that. All right, so let's get into my next story. And KHH was right on board with that. There we go. My next story gets into clean energy EVs. This industry is on fire. What's it on? What is it, Joey?
On fire.
No, you know what I want to say about that? Holy smokes. That's on fire, baby. And you know something else?
Are you picking up what I'm putting down?
Because this industry is that hot. NIO stock, though, is falling. Strong deliveries aren't enough. So you wanted me to take a look at NIO? Well, NIO is falling right now. It's a hot stock, but right now news is hurting it. The Chinese electric vehicle maker, NIO, said Tuesday it delivered 5,291 vehicles. That's a lot, up 109% from year over year. But the stock gave up an early boost from that news and an upgrade of the stock from Goldman Sachs and closed down 10%. That's interesting, right? It got an upgrade. It did a better job of delivering cars, but again went down. NIO delivered over 5,000 car vehicles in October, the first time it cracked the 5,000 mark year to date. NIO has delivered about 37,000 vehicles, up 111% for the year. So the news is fickle, right? The news says, man, they did great. They got upgraded and the stock got hit. Why? A lot of that could be profit taking on the stock because people have made a lot of money on NIO and could be taking the profits on the stock. But we're going to do a deeper dive when we look at it in the VectorVest software. So NIO is one of my stories in this space, and Tesla puts into next week. Well, we're going to talk about Tesla puts. Tesla, and one of the things about Tesla, I'm going to get into that right now. Musk to Tesla employees, our stock will immediately get crushed like a souffle under the sledgehammer if we don't control costs. They're doing good as a company. but they are putting out so much money to get them to where they are right now, and that's real right there. So Tesla is the hottest thing out there in the space. And all of these new EV companies are coming after Tesla. They're the big boy. But Tesla is bringing things back down to reality, saying, yo, we got to start cutting costs on what we do, or else we're going to get smoked like a pound of bacon. I love bacon. I don't know why I love bacon so much. So keeping that in mind, that's the big boy, folks. And that's what the CEO is telling to his people. What else is in here? Another stock, CAAS. China Automotive Systems soars 23% after guiding for 2021 sales boom. These companies are kicking butt and taking names. And you know what? Are you not in them? Are you not playing any of them? Whew. You know what else happened here? We started talking about this industry back in July of this year. How many of you realize that here on Trending Thursday, we started addressing these EVs back in July? Type a yes in the room. All right, for those of you who are not subscribers to the channel, look to see how many people realize that we did. Nobody said anything. I don't know how much of a delay we have, but no, we have no delay. Nobody said yes. Not much. Nobody said yes. Oh, there we go. Somebody said yes. I'm about to say, y'all gonna make me look like a fool out here. I know you know we've been talking about it since July. I know. And anybody who's saying no, you probably weren't with us back in July. But yes, I definitely been talking about this space since July. So if you didn't know KAH, how you going to know? How you going to type in there that you know, that you didn't know? Oh, Lord. Oh, man. All right. So this is another stock in that space. And last but not least, so we're going to take a look at that. And this is big. Nikola falls sharply after agreement with GM disappoints. We did this as a story on Trending Thursday as well, that GM bought an 11% stake in Nikola. A lot of people were saying Nikola was going to be the next Tesla. And right now, we got a lot of stuff showing that it ain't. Shares in Nikola are down 17% pre-market. That was on November 30th. GM inks a memorandum of understanding with the company that is smaller in scale than some investors hope, and it doesn't include any equity investment. Ooh. The deal, we are excited to take this important step with GM, which provides an opportunity to leverage the resources, blah, 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 blah. As previously announced, the Nikola Badger program was dependent on an OEM partnership, GM. Nikola will refund all previously submitted order deposits for the Nikola Badger, updates the company. That's going to be a big hit to Nikola. All right, GM was there to back it up, but it's going to be a big hit to Nikola. All right, so let's go take a look at that space. Let's get back into the software. Let's go back to my watch list, go to the viewers, go to my watch list for today. Let's go see where these EVs sit. What's the number one stock in here? Tesla. The big boy is the number one stock in our list, sorted by our master indicator VST. What other stocks did we say? We said, what else is in here? Is that the only one that I pulled up? No, there's Nikola. What else did I have? Nikola CAAS. I'm going to put that in there. I don't know why that didn't show up. That was my fault, Joey. I can't blame Joey for that. Neo. Neo should be in here. There it is. So, and Joey wanted me to put solo. So we're going to put that in here too. All right. So these are some of these are some of the most popular stocks in that space. Tesla leading at the top of the list, followed by CAAS is number 4 in the list now. MRO. Neo is probably halfway down the list, even being in the news as much as it is. Right? And there's Solo and there's Nikola. 5 stocks. All right, which one is the best? Well, if we look at by VST, by value, safety, and timing, Tesla is the best by that indicator, followed by CAAS. Neo still has an indicator of VST above 1. Not bad. All right, and all of the other stocks that you're putting in, we're going to take a look at those in a second. Solo, though, has a VST below 1, and so does Nikola. Nikola is getting smoked by the news. All right, the news that GM pulled out is huge, affecting Nikola in a bad way. Let's right-click on the stocks that I've highlighted. Let's view the stock graphs. So Tesla's the big boy. Let's put this on a 3-month graph. Still moving up, but what is it doing? It's doing a little sideways mumbo. Volume is pretty steady, and relative timing is still nicely high and above the 20-day exponential moving average. Ooh, CAAS, a lot more volatile in the move of the stock. It's making the news. All right, it's making the news, but look at the bounce up and down, and look at the volume. Right now, there's not as many people trading it right now. Very interesting. All right, and the CI is also the highest, right, as far as that is concerned on Tesla as well, Kumar, which is the stock's ability to withstand long or lengthy price declines. Folks, we got a lot of true indicators that help you to make better decisions. What else is in this list? NIO, very news-driven. When it's out there and the news is good, it's running, but it does have its volatile points, and right now it's pulling off of that high right at the level of that 20-day exponential moving average. RT is trending lower. Be careful with NIO if you own it. Be careful with NIO if you own it. I have UNG and it's good for long term. Please stop typing that over and over. It will ban you out of it will shut your chat down, BR. Just letting you know that. All right. Is it good for long term? Let's go take a look at that when we look at stocks. Right now, I'm not looking at any individual stock that I have not put into this list yet. I'm not ready to look at your individual stocks yet. Just put that out there, okay? Solo, same kind of scenario as NIO. Pulling down. Man, these stocks were on a tear. But now you can see which is separating from the chaff. How's that go? The wheat from the chaff? What's the wheat? What's the chaff? Joey's looking at me like I'm crazy. But now we're getting to see the pasteurization of the milk of the chaff of the wheat. Anyway, we can see which ones continue to run and which ones do not. All right, so Solo is not. Wow, Nikola with the news that came out on the 30th with the news that came in with GM, the stock is definitely being hit. All right, so those are those stocks. You're talking about other stocks in there as well, folks. Again, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. Let's go take a look at where are those EVs, Tesla-related stocks. Where's my EV stocks? I forget what they were called now. It's, clean energy EVs. All right, so a lot of those stocks that you asked me to take a look at are in my watch list. All right, I've got 27 stocks in here. A lot of those stocks that you wanted me to look at should be in here. There's XPEV and so on. Let's do the same thing. What stocks have the best upside potential? Tesla, followed by Fisker. I did a story on Fisker not too long ago here in Trending Thursday. Second best by relative value, followed by GP. Which stocks are the safest in here? Bada boom, Tesla. Fine, sort of kind of shows that Tesla's the way to go. And guess what? Tesla's going to be in the S&P 500 starting on December 21st. That's going to be a big bolster for it as well. And which stocks in this space are moving up the fastest? Not even Tesla, but Adient. ADNT is moving up the fastest in this space. Again, a watch list in VectorVest will provide you with the click of a couple of mouse clicks, provide you with what you want to do in this space. All right, will provide you with what to do in this space. All right. Don't worry. Again, any stocks that you're putting in, I'm not going to take a look at them right now. Joey, any questions? Well, actually, I can look to see if there's any questions. A lot of people are just putting in stocks. That's not any questions, so I ain't got any stocks to look at, any questions to look at right now. All right, let's get to my next story. Today, we're moving pretty much good than we normally do. All right, so my next story are airline stocks. People are jumping all over airline stocks. Is it the right time to jump on board airline stocks? Or has the train left the station? Keep that in mind. All right, so let's get into airline stocks. So American Airlines. Couple of stories on American Airlines, and this is big. American Airlines starts the Boeing 737 MAX flights to boost confidence in jets after fatal crashes. American Airlines is the first airline getting ready to jump on board with the 737 MAX. That's big. They got a major airline jumping on board with the 737 MAX. And you know, I'm going to add a little something to it. with the advent of a coronavirus vaccine, people are itching to get back on a plane. You ready to fly yet, Joey? Oh, never mind. I'm ready to fly. I'm ready to fly. All right. And I think a lot of people are getting ready. And if we got a vaccine available and people get injected with it, I think a lot of people are going to be more apt to want to fly. This could be getting close to a bottom for airlines, but we're going to take a deeper look at it. So that's big news with American Airlines, and another one on American Airlines. Stock flies on COVID-19 vaccine data. I think that as companies like the airlines and the cruise ships and all of that and resorts, all of the companies that have been affected by COVID-19, they're going to be more apt to open their doors. All right, whether it's on a flight, whether it's on a ship, whether it's at a Marriott resort, whether it's Disney World. A lot of these companies that have been affected by COVID-19 because of the vaccine data coming out or be ready. And you know something? They're itching. They're itching to get ready to rock and roll. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to ring the cash register because they're going to be charging people. Now, they're going to probably, you know something? If you want to get on any of these flights or go to Disney World, they're probably going to offer a whole bunch of specials to get you to go. So just keep that in mind. But this could be a good entry for the airline stocks. Let's get into my watch list. Let's go back to my watch list. This could be a very interesting time for airline stocks. Let's go find my watch list for today.
Bill Weaver says airlines, then oil.
Airlines and then oil. Wow, you're right. Because if airlines start to pick up, the demand for oil or gas or fuel is going to pick up. Absolutely. So oil is not ready yet, but with airlines getting busy, with cruise ships getting busy, oil may have a bigger demand. Absolutely. Absolutely. So keep that in mind. What's good to buy now for short term? I'm not there yet. Don't worry about it. I'll get you there. I'm not there yet. You're not taking my thunder. All right. So what stocks were we looking at? Just American Airlines. Where's that at? AAL. All right. Right in the smack dab in the middle of my list. All right. Way overvalued. Well, that's because the stock got hit. The stock got hit by COVID-19. Got smoked, right? Let's go take a look at it. Let's go take a look at this. I'm not, the fundamentals really are not there, but it's getting ready. Are you ready? Are you ready for some football? Oh, this is not time for football, right?
No.
It's not time for football?
There was football on yesterday.
Well, there was football on yesterday.
It was like 3 o'clock.
I know. I was sitting in the barber chair watching the game. All right, but look at American Airlines taking off. This is a hot stock. This is a hot stock. Not only is it moving up, look at the volume. Volume is picking up. RT is picking up. Could this be the time to get into it? I'm going to take this a different step. Let's go look at, I've got a watch list for airline stocks. Look at that. I made my own watch list for airline stocks. I love being able to provide this stuff for you. Here's all of our major airlines right here. There's Jets. If you want to take a look at the whole industry in one ticker symbol, Jets is the way to go. But look at every single one of them is up today. Every single one. Let's do this. Is it time? Let's go look at a watch list average of all 9 stocks that I created to include Jets. Let's go take a look at that. I hope you didn't pay for that haircut. Stop hating, Jake. All right, Brian. I ain't listening to you. Let's put on a 3-month graph. There's the airlines. All 9 of those to include Jets is right there. Look at that. So what I'd like to see to give me a better feel, beautiful level of support sitting right there at about $29. Look at that. Touch, zone, touch. I'd like to see us take out that level of the high of 30.90 on the list. Now, what does that mean for these stocks? Well, let's go see which ones are moving up the fastest. Sort by RT. Golinda Linus. That's the fastest moving airline to take a look at. AAL on the 9 is right in the middle. United Airlines is right above it. Spirit Airlines right above it. Which ones have the best upside potential? The quickest one is the ETF Jets. Which one is the safest? You know something? Let's do this. Which has the best earnings growth rate? And that's GOL. I think that may not be a bad play. It's way overvalued, but all of these stocks for the most part are. Why? Because the industry got smoked. So all of these stocks are way over their values. But if I'm looking for a good play to look at, I like that GOL has an earnings growth rate of double-digit gains. The fundamentals are there. The fundamentals are not there for all of the stocks. So I'm looking at relative timing and I'm looking at earnings growth rate. All right, so there we go. That takes care of my airline stocks. And that's mainly because AAL is the stock that's moving up the most. But looking at a VectorVest watch list, I can make a better determination rather than just look at the stock that's moving up the most. And how about GOL is even moving up higher than AAL? And you can see for the reasons of good relative timing and good earnings growth rate. All right, any questions? Any questions before I get to my next story? Anybody? Anybody? Going once, going twice, 3 times a lady. All right, so let's get into my next story. I was a little ahead on that one. Nice. Let's get to my next story. All right, now we're getting into my stocks of interest. Could you please show me the low price stocks with great potentials? Again, sorry, I tried the VV software but could not locate. You're going to have to wait on that, Bishnu. If I have the time today to do it, I will. If not, you need to give our product support staff a call. All right, so I'll go from there. All right, so let's go to my next story. My first stock of interest is Nvidia. ARM CEO expects regulators to take a good look at the Nvidia deal. Simon Segars, a chief executive of ARM, said that he expects regulators to take a good look at the company's deal with the U.S. chip maker, Nvidia. It announced on September 13 that it plans to buy a British chip designer from Japan SoftBank in a $40 billion mega deal, but the acquisition has several hurdles to overcome. When the deal was announced, Nvidia and ARM said it expected to take 18 months to complete. Another thing about Nvidia that I don't have in this story is they're coming out, they're trying to have chips in another gaming system. How about Microsoft and Sony? My wife is trying to get me a PlayStation 5. Joey's wife is trying to get him a PlayStation 3. Actually, I'll sell you mine. I'll sell you my PlayStation 3. But these chips are important to what's going on out there, big time. And there was a deal going on, but people are going to take a look. I'm going to see how that affects the news on the stock. I'm going to see how this affects the news, the movement of the stock. Another story that I'm looking at in my stocks of interest is Palantir. Palantir, we've done a couple of stories here on our YouTube channel. Clayton DeBert did a great story talking about what Palantir is all about. But Morgan Stanley downgraded Palantir. Why? Shares of Palantir slid on Wednesday after Morgan Stanley downgraded the stock to underweight from equal weight. The firm said the company is trading at a significant premium. The anticipation of what this company could do in the data gathering space is amazing. And they can gather all this data. They're already working with our intelligence agencies to take that data so that it can be used in useful information, especially for terrorist activity. So that's why it ran as much as it did. I think on paper it's great. But I think Morgan Stanley is saying, it's way more than what it should be. Its stock more than doubled since it went public on September 30th. I think, like I said, on paper, the storyline is great in regards to the stock. All right, so there's 2 other stocks that I'm going to give to you, and those are going to be my inexpensive stocks. I'm going to have a little story on that. All right, so let's get into the software. Where did I go? There we go. Let's get into the software. Let's go back to my watch list. Trending Thursday, 12/3. And the 2 stocks I'm going to look at is Nvidia and Palantir. All right, 12/3. Let's go look at Nvidia. Look at where it sits in my list in the top half of the list by VST, so it's not bad. Nvidia and Palantir. Look at where Palantir hits. Now, this is still an IPO. The stock jumped up, but I think the news is pulling the stock down the list. But look at that. I think more and more people feel that this company's direction and way that it's going, I think more people feel that even with the downgrade, that it's a good stock. And I have to tend to agree with that. Now, because it's new, the data on it, it's not going to be all that great. All right, but let's take a look at these 2 graphs. view the stock graph. Let's take a look at the two of them. All right, and put it on 3-month graph. This Nvidia, the news of the deal that's going on with that SoftBank dealie. It is clearly above the 20-day exponential moving average, but overall, look at what it's doing. It's moving sideways like it's in a channel. I would wait on Nvidia. I wouldn't pull the trigger on it right now. The volume is pretty steady. RT is pretty steady. I would still wait. The stock went from a buy to a hold. I would consider waiting. Now, Palantir jumped out of the gate. Look at that run on it. And you know something? Even with the news that came out that they got downgraded, enough people, I think, feel comfortable enough knowing that what the company is doing it's going to have some credence behind it. A little bit of a shooting star pattern right here. That's only confirmed if we have another down day. But the stock, even with the pullback, is still above the 20-day exponential moving average. RT is starting to run again as the stock bounced down. Now, that's on those two stocks. I would wait on the Nvidia trade. And Palantir, I would really like to see if the people behind it have the gumption to push that stock higher because they know what the company can do. I would wait if I'm not in it. Now, I ran a search, and I'm going to show you what the search looks like. And the only people that can run it are the people who are in the VectorVest software. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. All right. And even if I show the rest of you, you can't run it. All right. So I'm going to go to the Unisearch tool. I've got a couple of searches that I've created for these sessions. And where is it? Trending Thursday. That's not it. YouTube. That's it. I've got a search that I'm running to find lower dollar stocks. I've got a few searches to find lower dollar stocks. And Bishnu, this will not be in your software. I've created these stocks, these searches here for the YouTube channel. But here's one. And for all of you who are VectorVest subscribers, this one is called a Teeny Boppers offshoot. Bishnu, remember I just showed you a search called Teeny Boppers? Well, I did a little change to it. Whereas the stock's relative value is greater than 1. So everybody who's a subscriber, go to Teeny Boppers. All right, go to Teeny Boppers. Here's the two things that I added to the search. The relative value is greater than 1, and the stock is not equal to a sell. So the stock has to be a buy or a hold, but the upside potential on the stock has to be above 1. That's what I've made as a change to Teeny Boppers. That's it. And this was able to find me 2 really good stocks for you to take a look at. If you're not a subscriber to the software, guess what? You can't run this. 99 cents gives you the capability to run this. And when you come back and look at the video, you will see the 2 changes that I made, and you can then make those changes to your Teeny Boppers. All right. The two stocks that I got into that I'm looking at, go back to the viewers tab. SIG. All right, look at the dollar value on that is $2.59. And my other one is a weed stock, ITHUF, way cheap as well. I want to show you both of these stocks. Neither one of them is a sell. All right, ITHUF, when I was looking at it, did have an RV above 1, but it pulled back. I'm still okay with this. You know why? Because of what's going on with the marijuana stocks, the decision they're going to make is important. BR Creation. It is a search in the VectorVest subscribers. I am a subscriber of VectorVest. Can I see your list? No, you got to run it. That's why I showed you how to set it up, Mukesh. Nope, not letting anybody see it because the people who are not subscribers, I'm not giving it to them away for free. So I only found 2 stocks that I'm going to talk to you about, but that search was able to do it. I am not running that search for that reason. All right, that's the reason why. All right, I'm going to take a look at these 2 stocks. And if you did subscribe, BR, then you're going to be able to run that search. All right, and as I mentioned, I walked you through what it's looking for. You can come back to this video. And if you don't know how to run it, give our product support staff a call. Let me go look at these 2 stocks for you. All right, lower dollar stocks. And again, for the people who may not have a lot of money in the market, the search found me this stock. Look at that stock. Look at that stock. Look at the relative timing. Nice move up higher by way of the 20-day exponential moving average. A little bit of indecision today. If I'm going to get into the stock, it's got to go 5 cents higher than the high before I pull the trigger. Even on the pullbacks, the stock still stays nicely above the 20-day exponential moving average. What's my other stock? ITHUF. Because it's a marijuana stock, it's dirt cheap. Look at the stock's price run. A little bit of a pullback today, but on big volume. Big volume in here. How do you find teeny boppers? All right, so those are my two stocks, inexpensive stocks, CIG and ITHUF. Every week, I'm going to try to find you one or two stocks inexpensively to take advantage of. In finding teeny boppers, searches, price volume, there it is. It's under searches, price volume, and there's teeny boppers. And again, when I went to teeny boppers, I made two changes. I did the RV was greater than 1 and that the stock recommendation not equal to a sell. Those are the only two things that I made changes in that search. That's it. And again, no, I'm not going to run it because I want the people who are not subscribers to step out on understanding 99 cents. You can run a search like this. All right, when will you be going to tell what to buy? What do you mean? Hold on, I'm gonna stop answering you for a moment. I'm gonna get there. Just hold on. That's all of my stocks. That's all my stuff. Right? So I'm good. All right, now for everybody who's not wanting to give me an opportunity to just hold on, type in your stock for me to take a look at. Joey's going to call off what stocks he wants me to take a look at. It won't be many, says Joey. That's up to Joey. Joey is going to tell me which stocks he wants to take a look at. And Joey, go take it away, bro. MCK, comma. EXROF, comma. AL, comma. LAZR, comma. TRVG, Travago. AT Activision.
He put in YUNJI.
I don't think I have it. YUNJI. Oh, we do have it. There we go. It's YJ. Okay.
Let's do that one.
Right.
MARA.
Mara.
Neo.
I already did Neo. Huh?
NEO.
Okay. Comma.
And Netflix.
NFLX.
And one more from somebody new. Home.
HOME. All right. Any stock that I am not looking at today, Joey's going to put a link in there. You can get a free stock analysis on any stock that you want. All right. Joey's going to put it in there. Click on it. All right. Let's go take a look at McKesson. Ooh. Stock's moving sideways. That's it in a nutshell. Stock is moving sideways. The 3 and the 8, I'm going to take off the 3 and the 8 and put on the 20-day exponential moving average. Stock is clearly above the 20-day exponential moving average. Change the style. Make it darker. Stock is clearly above the 20-day exponential moving average. But you know something? Look at right here at that level of 169.35. Create a level of support. Both as a level of support and the 20-day exponential moving average served as a level of support. That's a beautiful level of support at 106.35. Where's the stock trading at right now? In a level of moving sideways for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. For 7 days in a row, the stock is moving in sideways. If I'm not in the stock, I definitely want to see if the stock could take out that level of the high. And you know something? It had a short-term run. It ran and pulled back and now is moving sideways. So I'm not feeling that just quite yet. Volume is falling off a little bit, but that makes sense as the stock is moving sideways. So that's where I stand as far as MCK is. XROF. I own this. Personally, I own this. But you know what I'm using? I'm looking at this a little bit longer term, and I am using a 20-day exponential moving. Actually, I'm not using a 20-day. I'm using a 3 and the 8. All right, I'm using a 3 and the 8. And if the 3 crosses below the 8 exponential moving average on an end-of-day basis, I'm probably going to take some profits off the table and wait for another buying opportunity. RT is falling, so the stock is losing some momentum. The stock is falling from the high. I can draw a trend line. I am hitting lower highs. The 2 moving averages, in this case my 3 and the 8, are getting very close to each other. If the 3 crosses below the 8, I am going to take that stock off the table. No, Anthony, the answer to your question is no. The 30-day trial is more than enough time to make a decision, my friend. All right, let's go put back on the 20-day exponential moving average. Let's take a look at Air Lease. Another stock that pulled back off the high. Nice up day today. Got right back to that level of resistance of 41.36. Nice jump up in RT. If you're in it, leave it alone. All right, the stock never fell on an end-of-day basis below the 20-day exponential moving average. I would really love to see the stock get back above that level of 41.36 before I pull the trigger. I like the move. For a lot of the 3 months, though, the stock is just moving sideways. All right, stock is moving up, found a high, a little bit of a shooting star, followed through, found the level of support, bounced, beautiful level of support, hit twice. Big update today on higher than average volume from yesterday. I would wait until the stock went above the high before I pull the trigger. If I'm in it, though, leave it alone. All right, next stock, Laser. Ooh, this is a relatively new stock. Didn't look so good after it IPO'd or from when we started tracking it. The stock went above the 20-day exponential moving average on 11/19 and hasn't looked back yet. Big down day right here. A little bit of a bearish engulfing pattern right here with no follow-through. Stock's price is clearly above the 20-day exponential moving average. Nice volume today. RT is moving up. If I'm not in it, I would wait to see if the stock could take out that high. If I am in it, I had to sit through that yesterday, and then it gapped down and then started moving back up. This is not a bad-looking trade. It's not the best-looking trade, but it does have the potential to keep moving higher. The stock is a buy recommendation. Relative value on the stock is not there. Relative safety on the stock is not fundamentally sound. But the stock does have an RT, and RT is not above 1. Wait, hold on. RT, because I'm back here. There we go. RT is above 1, but fundamentally the stock is not sound. The upside potential and relative safety are both below the value of 1. This is more of a trade. This is more of a trade, not of a long-term hold. Next stock, Trivago, above the 20-day exponential moving average, pulled back to a level of support sitting at a value of $1.99. RT is trending lower. Be careful. The stock's losing momentum. Relative value below 1. Relative safety below 1. The stock, again, not fundamentally sound. But that makes sense as the stock has taken a hit due to COVID-19. A lot of people are not using Trivago to find trips to go on, right? Right now, I'd be careful. It is bouncing off a level of support. Let's see if it can take out that high before I jump on board with it. But RT is trending lower. The stock is losing momentum, and volume is starting to fall as well. Keep the both of those together as you make your decision. ATVI, Activision, RT not above 1. Stock's not in an uptrend. The stock does have good upside potential with relative value above the value of 1. The stock is having a really hard time getting out of its own way. A lot of sideways move for the last 3 months. It has gone back above the value of the 20-day exponential moving average, but still again moving sideways. Volume is falling. From a long-term position, I don't want to hold it long-term. Our relative value, I might not be afraid of holding it long-term with relative value above 1, but short-term, the stock is not in an uptrend yet. Let's see if RT, and look at all of this sideways move, RT has been below 1. Let's wait for RT to get above 1 to show me that the stock is moving higher in an uptrend along with good volume. All right, along with good volume. Let's go to the next one. Why did you give me? Why? What is this? Good, googly moogly. That was news driven. I can tell you that. I don't know anything about this stock. This stock is news driven. I am not sure. You know what this stock can do? It can knock you out. That is absolutely right. I'm not feeling this stock. I don't know much about the stock. I'm just looking at what I see. The stock is in a downtrend. RT is trending lower. There's nothing that I like about the stock. There's nothing that I like about the stock. The stock is clearly above the 20-day, but just trending lower. RT is telling me the stock is trending lower. And not only that, the volume ain't there. I'm not feeling YJ at all. All right? That's just what I see. I don't know. It's not that I dislike it or like the company. I'm just looking at what the graph is showing me. That's all I can do. Mara, remember, we already looked at that in regards to cryptocurrency, is moving higher. Riot looked a little better, I think. But Mara, cryptocurrency above that value. And I'm telling you, watch as the IRS gets more regulated, starts regulating cryptocurrency. Keep your eye on that as a possible hindrance, to cryptocurrency. But it is above, moving a tad bit sideways. If you're not in it, though, I'd like to see it go above that level of the high on rising volume. Next stock, NEO. Drug Biomedical, I'm liking that. The stock was in a little bit of a channel, a little bit of a U bottom right here. Almost a V bottom, but a U bottom. Broke through resistance. Tested as a level of support, sitting at that level of 44.79, moving higher, nicely above the 20-day exponential moving average. Volume is leveling out. RT is rising. I like that. I do like that in this space, but I would go 12 cents higher than the high before I pull the trigger. What else is in here? Netflix. Ooh, Netflix and chill. Hey, Joey, you want a Netflix and chill? No? Okay. Anyway, I would still think that people would still be enjoying the heck out of Netflix. They raised their prices. I think I got raised on prices on Netflix. But Netflix is not doing it for me right now. Look at that. RT is below 1. The stock's been in a downtrend, moving sideways, above the 20-day exponential moving average, but RT is not backing it up. I'd wait for a better opportunity to buy Netflix. A little bit of a sideways move. I'd like to see it break above that level of resistance at 512.36 before I even consider getting into it. All right, that's what I'm looking at on the graph. Last stock, Home. Had a nice run up here. Loved breaking above the 20-day exponential moving average. Ran. Broke above the 20-day moving average, ran, but came back quick. Right now, trading right at that 20-day exponential moving average. RT is falling, means it's losing momentum, but still above the value of 1. Volume is okay. Not great, but volume is okay. Home, if I'm not in it, I'm waiting. If I am in it, you got to make a decision at some point in time. And you know something, on an end-of-day basis, if the stock's price drops below that exponential moving average, that may be a good opportunity to get out of this stock. Man, that was good. And we're still sitting at 3:30. I did everything that I could, Joey, to be on time as much as I could. And, man, I think that was a good session. We gave a lot of great information. We covered a lot of great territory. So, man, thank you guys for being here. All the stocks that I could look at, I did. I really do. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you like the content, how many likes do we have? 124. Let's see if we can get up to 150 likes or more. If you like it, just let me know. And if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. It won't hurt you to do that. And you hit the bell icon to be alerted to all the content that comes up. We put a lot of work every week to try to give you this kind of content. And you could go look at any of these videos on YouTube, and there's a lot of them out there, and I watch a lot of them. I'm trying to make this a little different than anything else out there that you'll find on YouTube. Does anybody in the room think that we do offer a little different information than a lot of the videos out there? I'm just curious to know. And those people who normally don't chat in, let me know. I am curious to know, do you think that we provide possibly better information than a lot of the other videos that are? And you know something? There's a lot of videos on YouTube. So, put in the comments. I'm curious to know. If you think so, fine. If you don't think so, I like that. Lynn says it was all right. Wow. Thanks, Lynn. That's why I love you, Lynn. That's just why I love you, Lynn. Lynn says it was just all right. All right. So, you know something? That's what I want to know. I want to know that kind of information keeps you coming back. All right. That's what I like. I like that it keeps you coming back. I want the different feel. You can go to any video out there. All right.
Just talk about Tampa one more time.
Tampa. So Tampa, can you put the thing back up there? So Tampa, January 8th and 9th, we're going to be live and we're going to be live streaming. All right. We're going to be live and we're going to be live streaming. There's a link for either or, for the live stream and for you can sign up to come live. But I think it's probably going to be on a first come, first serve basis for the live because we're going to be socially distanced in the room. We're not going to be able to take as many people as we normally do. But if you'd rather to stay home, you can still get the feel of the Tampa 2 day from home. All right. I like that. R says, I saw your video for the first time, definitely coming back. Outstanding. I love that. That is awesome. That is awesome.
One more time for the trading room.
And for Monday on YouTube, we will be doing on Monday and Tuesday. Monday, we're going to do an overview of our trading room with a tool called the Derby. I'm going to give an overview of what the Derby is and a little taste of the Jockey Club, which is our live trading room.
I'll put a link in the...
And Joey put a link in there for you to sign up for that YouTube presentation. I will be doing that. On Tuesday, I will be doing an actual Jockey Club presentation. So you're going to be seeing what we do in our live trading room every day, Monday through Friday. All right, so if you're new to the channel and you want to see how we make our trades in the trading room, come see the YouTube video. Come see the YouTube live stream for it on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, one of my colleagues, Steve Chappell, is going to walk you through an automated real money swing trade system. All right, so next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. 200 likes so Joey eats a dozen of donuts live tomorrow. Dang. How many likes do we get?
154.
154. Well, at least we got to 150. That's all right. All right, with that being said, folks, I want to say adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, aloha, salam, shalom, namaste, peace. We're out of here.